Well, I would like to say that it was very scientific and I did months and months of research to come up with it, but no, it was back just before last summer, I'd say back in March, just before then. And I was looking to go camping and stuff, and I wanted a roof box, and I was looking around, and I thought, oh, there's a lot of products out there. It's quite confusing. There wasn't a lot of information out there. So I did a quick search on GoDaddy for some domains. I saw that bestroofbox.com was available. I thought that sounds like a great domain. And yeah, the rest is history. That's how I kind of fell into it.
Cool. And
I know that there are much better ways to choose a niche than that. But hey, sometimes you fall on your feet and you find a niche that seems to work. And this one does seem to be working quite well.
I think it's great because I know personally, like my dad was trying to find a roof box because we did this big road trip last year. They joined me because I was driving to Alaska and we needed a roof box, and it was hard for him to find one that fit and get like an actual like understanding from the Amazon description and the specs. He really couldn't understand like what would work for his, and he has a super common Ford Explorer, one of the
Yeah.
most popular like SUVs. There's a ton of them around, so there's definitely like some confusion around the products. So you actually got a roof box then, huh?
Yeah, I've got a roof box and it's great. And also it allowed me to kind of understand some of the problems, like how do you store a roof box in the winter? How many suitcases can you fit in a roof box? And also, just the more I dug into it, I thought from a content point of view, there's so much I can write about. For example, you mentioned, the Ford Explorer or whatever. Basically, there's an article that needs to be written for every single type of car out there because people are searching on Google for what's the best roof box for a Ford Explorer? What's the best roof box for a Volkswagen Golf? What's the best roof box for whatever? So I just thought to my head, if I create articles around that, and I was doing Google searches and there wasn't any articles coming up for each individual car, I just thought, I'll be able to write content forever because there's so many cars. And then you start exploring different activities, which is another great angle that I think you can find within a product focused site like mine is all the applications for a roof box. So people that want to travel with their skis, with their camping equipment, with their snowboards, the list goes on. So from a content point of view, I thought it'd be great because there's just so much you could write about that's all pretty much product focused, which I know is an interesting approach because a lot of people like to have more informational based sites, whereas this site is very product focused. And I think that's one of the reasons why it does quite well in terms of revenue because it's not getting huge traffic numbers, but the traffic it does generate a reasonable amount of revenue from Amazon, and which, as we know, the commission rates are quite low. So yeah, I think it does well because the people that come to my site, they're looking to buy a roof box. They're in the market, they're ready to buy one. They just need a little bit of help in terms of deciding which one's the best fit for them and their vehicle or their sport or whatever they're using it for.
Excellent. So you chose best roof box, which is sort of the exact match keyword situation, which I literally advise people don't do that. You're painting yourself in a corner. So can you just, why did you pick something so specific? And you've already talked about how you can expand it based on activities. There was plenty of content because there's like an endless number of cars. But I mean, you could have said something a little bit more broad. I don't know what, but maybe like outdoor activities or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
don't know. It was an exact match keyword, and I was kind of hoping to rank for the keywords best roof box. I thought that would bring in tons of traffic, and in fact, the site does. It's page one for best roof box. It's somewhere in the middle of page one. I think it's just I was a little bit naive maybe when I was planning the site, and in hindsight, I probably wouldn't do that again. So I'm going to do another site soon because I love these projects, and this time I'm going to take a lot of the experience that I've learned from this site and all the advice that I've taken from people like yourself and other experts and guests that I've had on my channel that have come in and torn down my site, and they've all said, why on earth did you go for that domain name? Why on earth did you push yourself into a corner with a very specific product group? And my answer is because at the time I thought that's what I should be doing, and maybe going forward I'd probably go for something like roofboxadvisor.com or something that's a little bit more general and kind of explains a little bit more about what the website's about. But hey, you live and learn. And what I've learned is that actually, if you do make mistakes at the beginning, it's not the end of the world. Your site can still do well, and you can carry on and be fine.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's the key. Like, always give yourself like the flexibility to grow if possible, and then
Yeah,
if you don't, it's not a catastrophic mistake. I mean, you could change the domain name and then redirect a few things. Like, it's just a technical problem, a fairly small
yeah.
technical problem. So
And we all know that everyone's going to do more than one site, so you just know that for the next site, it's going to be even better because of all the stuff that you learned on the site before, and they just keep getting better. And that's just, you learn your best lessons when you make mistakes, don't you? That's the you only really kind of learn by failing. You never learn anything if you get it right first time.
indeed, well, hopefully a couple people will learn from the mistake that you made. So
Yeah, and people learn from both of us. Our
oh yeah,
experience and mistakes. That's what they're learning from, and
yes.
we can share that with people.